happened there?
It's no structure. Germany doesn't look like Germany. Rudiger was there, but they conceded 3 at home.
Yeah.
First time they've lost to Turkey since 2004 or 5. Like, I was barely a journalist. It's that long ago. Rudiger, Jimmy, it's called Jimmy Ta.
Yeah.
Havertz as left back.
Havertz at left back. Jesus. Kimmich, Gundo.
Yeah.
Fulkrug, he scored a good goal though.
Yeah, he's on some fine form. Okay. Well,
we are in trouble. Euros due to our start.
Actually, by the way, I think Turkey were just good. They were brilliant. They looked good with the ball, pressing high, and on the break they were very fast.
I want to go back to the Germany of before Jogi Löw, when we didn't have flashy things, we didn't try flashy things, we didn't have small attackers. We played basic, simple, straightforward football.
And do you remember the conversation we had about Pep? Having Pep in the Bundesliga. It shifted that as
yes.
You think so? I don't
Schweinsteiger said he shifted it in the fact that almost everyone tried to play like him, and all the small attackers all of a sudden became vogue. Yeah, if I looked very hard, I might find that clip. I have it somewhere. We basically said Pep wasn't great for the Bundesliga and for German football because of his sheer force of personality and the way he changed the game. And Germany as a whole went that way. I'd have to scroll down really hard on my bookmarks to find it. I'll see if I can find it.
Okay, so I don't think it's even a surprise based on the assessment of that game that we had Miroslav Klose, I think, on Saturday talking about what has changed with this German team, and for him he feels as if the youth in the team are not stepping up, and probably explains the decision the thought you have about them not playing traditionally as you expect. But also he feels as if there is no nerve in this team. They don't seem as if they care about winning.
It's very un-German like.
Yes,
for me, it's that point.
Yes, and I've mentioned it several times because I expect that having guys like Joshua Kimmich in the team, and even Goretzka, who wasn't in this squad, their levels have somehow dropped from a leader's perspective, and they are not really leading this team the way it should be.
I am almost convinced Kimmich is not as good as we all think he is.
Thank you. I've been saying that for the past 2 years.
No, probably that's the case, because I mean the last time in the last international break, Germany had just won against USA, and I was all over the place talking about how good Pascal Gross was and Gundogan was. Maybe that could be the partnership that works in midfield, given the form of Joshua Kimmich and Goretzka. Said it several times that even at Bayern Munich, they have struggled to maintain control of those games they've played in there.
It's the reason they're looking for Palinia.
Yes. They almost had him at their doorstep, and he left again to Fulham. I think he's going to come back over the summer. But also in the defensive front, that's another point that I had read before. They had 17 different pairings in their defense across the back four. And this was the case again yesterday. When you think about Ta playing in defense, of course, he plays in the back three for Bayer Leverkusen. I have no problem about that. But then if you're playing Havertz at left back, then you've got to ask several questions, especially if you've got David Raum on the bench. Benjamin Hendricks playing at right back. He's not that top of a quality that Germany
hasn't had fullbacks since Philipp Lahm left. They haven't had a right back, haven't had a really good left back.
But the drop-off has been immense.
It's crazy. Huge. Actually, it's the lack of young upcoming talent. You know, again, like I was saying, you see a player and you know, next big thing.
Yeah.
You look at Germany and you're like,
the lack of uprising new talent.
Yeah, and maybe Musiala is an outlier.
Yeah, he's the only.
Florian
guy.
Wirtz also.
He was good though.
Yes,
he was alright last night.
Yeah, he's been good for several years. He
was alright.
He was going to move on.
But
then if you have that year-old Fulkrug starting as centre forward,
Germany hasn't had a
Germany
hasn't had a centre forward of note since Miroslav Klose. And Miroslav Klose retired in 2014.
And Podolski, I remember there was a bit
Podolski was those wide forward things I say. Yeah. He's not really a winger, he's not really a centre forward, he's an inside left. And not good enough.
But the thing with Germany at the moment is that they are not producing top talent. You look across, even in the Bundesliga, if you look at, for example,
Leroy Sané.
Are you gonna say how old are they right now? Come on,
Yeah,
son.
Rezana is now old.
Yeah.
He's no longer a
Not
kid,
young
man.
talent.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like a 20-year-old, less than 20 years, in fact. Can you name for me one German?
The way France have that young kid.
Yeah,
Zaire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are like,
Look at Spain.
Yeah,
With
with Pedri and
Yamal.
Yamal,
Yamal is 17. Is he 17 right now?
Yeah,
And he's
17.
playing some good football, man. Germany don't have talented players as of now.
And as we said,
They have- if you look-
they
if-
just lack identity.
Yes,
At
they,
the
they don't
moment,
have they
just-
don't have they don't have the identity. They've
Yeah.
lost it, and now they don't have talent, which is really bad for German football as of now. Look at even in Leverkusen, the top players in the team, are they German?
no,
They're not German.
Yeah.
So that's another big problem that they have. And when they lost in 2006, they went back to the drawing board.
actually, when they lost the Euro in 2000,
Yeah, and,
2006,
yes, it was yes.
they Germany won the World Cup in 90. And then 94 they were meh, and then they got away with it. They said 96 they won the Euro, and everyone said we are back. 98 Croatia mopped the floor with them in that quarterfinal, the 3-0 one. And then in Euro 2000 they crashed out of the group stages, and they went back and they said we are done, we are resetting. They did a full reset, started in 2002 World Cup, which they fumbled their way into a final, and then 2006, then Euro 2004, then 2006 now, semi,
Yeah.
Euro 2008.
Yeah.
Then they just kept going.
Yeah, and you see that consistency led to the 2014 World Cup win. Now they need to reset again.
Yeah.
That's what they really need to do for them to start producing talent like they did. Remember that 2014 squad, man? Every single individual, apart from Mustafi, was top talent.